Now we are at a very weird stage where men and women are hating on each other. But when you tell me I don't want to get married because I don't want to end up like my mom, we're talking about something completely different. Yeah. We're talking about shadow aspects, we're talking about dysregulation, we're talking a rejection of the masculine, also rejection of the feminine.
When one gender comes into power, it starts bashing the other one. And then there'll be a time where this one feels, oh, now I've been bashed enough, so now I'm going to give it back.
Yes.
And we are just playing this game.
Yes, that's exactly it. Here, the feminine is not realizing that she's becoming the toxic masculine to bash the masculine in.
I think renegotiating our boundaries and our contract in a marriage and having these healthy conversations.
People don't do it because there is such a fear that the other one is going to get up and leave. The shadow consists also parts of you that are really ugly and also very beautiful. They are what we call the dark shadow and the gold shadow. The gold shadow also speaks to you the same way the dark shadow does. A lot of Gen Zs that I've spoken to recently, they usually tell me they love to watch reruns of shows. If you watch a lot of reruns, it means you're looking for control and safety. When people in my classes who do shadow work and they enroll for the first time, it's one thing I tell them that you won't have a comfort zone that looks the same anymore, because that comfort zone is going to now include things that you did not dream about.
I'm very excited today to talk to my friend Aditi Nirwan, who I have known for almost 2 decades now. Aditi is a therapist and she's been practicing for more than 21 years. And she has trained in 20 different modalities, right from NLP, Qigong, somatic breath work, nervous system mapping. Learning doesn't end for her, but she specializes in shadow work. In this segment, we touched upon a very hot topic, which is about men and women. But we are looking at how personality types affect us, the stereotype, the conditioning that men and women have had. And it was very interesting to decode some of these with shadow work and also to know about the gold shadow.
Leaders being dysregulated is rampant, and them doing self work and regulating themselves is the need of the hour. And I don't mean just politics; I mean everywhere. Right? Leaders at all levels. We have leaders of nations, leaders of companies, businesses, even the head of the household. Whether it's a male or a female, it doesn't matter. So you'll ask me, but is there a time when shadow surfaces? So this is answering that question. That yes, for every single human being, shadows naturally surface at midlife. Okay? For men, also there is a menopause. Okay, it's called andropause. Yeah, women have their menopause. So both these people actually start to question a lot of their life choices at this point. So what happens is during andropause, menopause, every choice that we've made in our life that we've made which wasn't authentic. We made it because our parents expected it out of us. We did it because a spouse expected it out of us. Maybe we had to change ourselves to make our children happy. Whatever the reason may be. Yeah, we did make those choices for all other reasons that were out of integrity, out of alignment for us. Right? We wanted something from others. So all those choices we start to question at midlife, and that's the time the shadows come up. Yeah. What gender you belong to really doesn't matter right now. Yeah. Because honestly, I think as dysregulated as the men are, so are the women.
Yeah.
Women are rising, but they are not rising because of compassion, or they're rising because they're angry. And they think that that anger is a justification for the years of oppression and repression by men, right? Or women themselves, right? So now we are at a very weird stage where men and women are hating on each other, right? I mean, honestly, like when you and me were dating back then, where were these terms like ghosting, posting? I was like, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है अभी ये क्या हो रहा है इनके साथ, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to run away. Like I have young girls coming to my classes who are in their, 20s and early 30s. Ma'am, I don't want to get married. Okay, fine. It's a choice. But when you tell me I don't want to get married because I don't want to end up like my mom, we're talking about something completely different.
Yeah.
We're talking about shadow aspects. We're talking about dysregulation. We're talking a rejection of the masculine, also rejection of the feminine.
Yes.
Right? Where are you then? You're nowhere. Where do you place yourself then in society? Yeah? Oh, I don't care about society. You shouldn't. No doubt about it. But you do still live in it.
Yeah.
right? You still would like a relationship or a companion at some point. How are you going to do that without it becoming toxic if you're having all of this angst within you? Right? Guys keep telling me, like, I have comments on my, Instagram in some places. I mean, women to think men are ATM machines. Like, I can see the war in the comments.
Yeah.
And I'm horrified for what this generation is going to go through.
So, the conversation we had the other day about it's not about gender bashing. We are not here to say, okay, females are right or the males are right, or it's more about be a human first. And like you said, it's like, when one gender comes into power, it starts bashing the other one. And then there'll be a time where this one feels, oh, now I've been bashed enough, so now I'm going to give it back.
Yes.
And we are just playing this game
Yes,
all
but
along.
That's exactly it. Here, the feminine is not realizing that she's becoming the toxic masculine to bash the masculine in. She has to become exactly what she hates. And that is her unconscious aspect. That overtakes, comes up, and then acts. Simple example, on a daily basis, like all of us have had disproportionate reactions to people, correct?
True.
किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया and we just yelled and shouted, or we said no, or we froze, or we shut down, or numbed out, or whatever. And what they said wasn't actually that bad. It didn't warrant that kind of a reaction. But we did have that reaction, right? Now that comes from your shadow. And then you wonder later, यार मैंने इतने गुस्से में क्यों बोला?
It wasn't a big deal.
It wasn't such a big
small
deal.
thing.
Haan.
I shouldn't have reacted.
Yeah,
like
and I
that.
have done this before. Why do I keep doing this? Why do I mess it up? But we ask that question and then we stop because then we don't know where to go from there. That's the spot shadow work comes in. That is where you will get a chance to deep dive and understand why is this pattern on repeat where I am blowing my choices and reactions out of proportion. You take that from a personal level to a much larger scale. Women are doing that now with men.
Yeah, exactly. And then it'll
And then
roll
men are
reverse,
hitting back.
and again there'll be a roll reverse.
Yeah, which is why now instead of going into a relationship, they get into a water situationship is,
Yeah.
and then there is bashing with each other.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where is the romance?
Like you rightly said, these are terms we didn't even know. It didn't exist. It was like, you're married, now you have to be with this person and you figure it out.
Matlab, I'm not saying that go to that extreme
Yeah,
also.
you don't have to. But
Yeah.
when we talk about this gender, when we talk about the stereotypes that, have been there, things have changed.
Correct.
It's not that now a woman is going to be a homemaker. The two of us are not. We are taking, going out and doing what we love, following our passion, doing things. But understanding this between both the genders, that what's actually happening. And I feel the minute we drop that tag of man and woman and just sit as humans to even understand it.
Yeah. I think forget the other one. First understand you.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Why is this reaction coming?
Yes.
What is it? And it is years of this conditioning. It is years transgenerational that sits in your body. And then,
Absolutely.
like you rightly said, sometimes it's for small things, like especially when women get older.
Yeah.
So, just a small thing, if my dad would tell my mom, please on the fan, and she would be like, she'll just blow up.
Khud se karo.
Why can't you do it? I'm doing so much.
That's
in a
after
day.
30 years of being told what to do.
Yeah. So, after 30, 40 years of marriage, you come to that point.
Yeah.
And at that time, the man suddenly feels like, oh, I just asked you
I'm
to
just existing.
switch on a fan. And why are you getting so angry about it? So, I see a lot of confusion in both the genders.
Yes. That's what I said earlier, where we start questioning our choices. Yeah, where the woman thinks, well, he's not wrong. I did yell at him when he asked me to switch on the fan. And it was unwarranted, right? So when you dive deeper, you understand that it is because I am actually angry with myself for not having told him off for the last 30 years of being married to him. So the anger is directed to him, but it's actually not for him. It's for herself. For all the times she said yes when she could have actually said no. And she said yes because she wanted to make someone happy. It was either people pleasing, needing approval, or
Also following
appreciation
the steps
or
that
love.
you've seen your mother doing,
Exactly.
or women
Not
around you.
questioning how it's been done till now. Just literally falling into the structure.
And today, like 30 years after marriage,
yeah.
it's like now your body has also changed.
Yeah.
Physically, you are also not,
Yes.
you get tired.
You would like someone to switch on the fan for you.
Yeah. So, like I think renegotiating our boundaries and our contract in a marriage and having these healthy conversations like, okay, this I'm okay with. This is just a complete non negotiable on the table. I will not.
People don't do it because there is such a fear that the other one is going to get up and leave. Or what is it that they're going to think about them? और इतने साल तक तू ठीक थी अब क्या हो गया तुझे? It's that.
But I think those conversations are the need of today's time where you sit and talk about it. In fact, even if it's been 30 years, 10 years, I think every 5 years, like we were talking, every 5 years you have to renegotiate and recontract your marriage and give each other that listening space of understanding instead of, having that fight.
My only point remains to married couples especially is that you came together for a reason, no? What was that? Don't ever forget that one, because it turns into abuse and hating on the other very fast. Especially these days. I don't think it happens after marriage now. It happens even before.
In the situation.
Or whatever it is called. All these ships that they are on, right? They're all headed in that direction.
Yeah. True. So it's more about first understanding yourself, sitting calmly with your own self,
What are
seeing
my
your
own
patterns.
triggers? Yeah.
And if each one, irrespective of the gender that you are, starts doing that, it's going to be beautiful.
It's going to take time.
I'm sure it will. But I'm happy at least we have started talking about it. It's on the table. We see it and we are talking about it. Is a step.
Yes.
And once we are there, then I'm sure slowly, things will move ahead in that direction.
Yeah. And I'm happy to say that I do see efforts from a lot of people now. They're very keen on changing. They don't like the world that we live in at the moment. They don't like their own world. The family, the society, their own inner world is something they're not able to take anymore. And it's creating a huge transformation in people's lives simply because, and interestingly, they're now willing to let go of people and let go of things in order to transform, which is something people are not willing to do before.
Yeah.
Because you know that when you're going to become like this version 2.0 of you, some relationships that you had, some friendships you had, some family connections you had may not work for you anymore. And people didn't want to lose that before because that's all they had. Now they are willing to lose it because they know there is more to life than just this.
Also, when you say about this 2.0 version, again from our earlier conversation, I don't recognize that 2.0 version. It's new for me. What I'm seeing in the mirror, I'm a changed person.
Right.
I am still getting used to this new me.
Yes.
And in my actions and instead of reaction, when you start responding and then you sit back and like, was that me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Did I do it like this?
Yeah.
Did I finally tap into my authentic self and speak my truth? Could I stand in my truth? So it's a new skin. It's a new outfit that you are yourself getting used to. Like, I'm talking a lot from personal experience. It's like, I don't know this person I'm seeing in the mirror. This is a completely new version, the 2.0. I mean, we just joke around about it. I tell my friends, I'm like, I'm at 8.0 now. And thank God there are infinite numbers because you change constantly when you work on yourself. And so when it's so difficult for you to first accept it, embody it, live it, literally there have been times I'm like, oh God, did I do this? So for the other person, it's a shock. Like, oh, I've been living with you for 20 years.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you now?
I don't know you.
Yeah.
You've changed.
Yeah.
And that's where that whole dynamics also then starts to, change. That's why I think going back to our first question, can we do shadow work with family? I think this is also another thing where people feel, okay, I have moved, evolved, changed. Now I look at the world in a very different way.
True.
But do you see that?
Yeah. Which is why I tell a lot of people that I understand that you may want to drag your family into this. Many of them want to drag their spouses into it. Right? So, and I completely understand, because there's a huge fear that, oh my God, if I evolve and change tomorrow, he or she may not want to be with me because I'm a different person now.
It's also the other way around. Will it be that I will evolve and change, and then I may
might want to
not
leave.
want? Yeah.
So when they ask me that question, my usual answer is that you're actually already ready to leave right now. So I need you to take a look at that. And you're not willing to admit it. So you want a solid, good reason to leave. So you'll use this one as a reason. But if you've entertained the thought and you've been feeling it for a while, that means it's there. And that's actually your shadow speaking to you. This is exactly how the shadow talks to you, and you don't realize it.
Is it like when we say, it's like my mind and body, and this is a gut feeling that I'm getting?
It can be gut feeling also, but there is this, like I said, the shadow consists also parts of you that are really ugly and also very beautiful. So they're what we call the dark shadow and the gold shadow. So the gold shadow also speaks to you the same way the dark shadow does. The gold shadow also invites you to this version 2.0 of you. It gives you images, pictures of what you can be if you do leave this person, right?
And what your actual potential is.
What your potential is, absolutely.
Which you've never realized.
Yeah. Or, you may have people that you love and admire. You may have like what I call fantasy situations in your life, right? You may daydream about becoming a certain kind of a person that receives that love, adulation, doing great work, whatever it may be. All of these are coming from your gold shadow.
So like you said earlier, when you would pile up books and stand on that and talk to
That
people,
was me.
that was your gold shadow?
Yes, that was my gold shadow.
Which at that point...
Yeah, and my dad used to joke, she might become like a lawyer, or, she might become like a big politician or whatever. Never realizing that this is actually what I'll end up doing. Now he jokes about it. It's like, where we knew that.
I'm very interested and excited about the gold shadow. I'm sure many people
Yes, they are.
So, tell us a little more about the gold shadow.
I think that it's something you kind of came here with. We all were born with it. It could be also that there were seeds that were planted within us when we were very young. We may have seen something, seen someone, been inspired by them, and wanted to be a certain way. So all of our childhood fantasies are usually the gold shadow.
Okay.
Yeah. Then some people were fortunate enough to have those childhood fantasies given a platform, right? Very young, the parents recognized it, and that it was different, right? So they were lucky enough to have that gold shadow realized very early on. But most of us weren't, especially in the time that we came from. Yeah. And it was difficult because we had to then mold ourselves to fit into a certain structure or a society or a school or wherever we went. So there was something different, weird, flighty, fluffy, strange fantasy about us. It was immediately shut down. It's like, you don't have time to fantasize. Come on, let's study. Right? So don't go there. Right? So me standing on books, or you, when you related that incident, you remember when you spoke about you being in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
And your mom shutting you down.
And, looking at it and feeling, oh, wow, I'm someone. And, crowd cheering for me.
Absolutely.
And mom would be like, finish your homework,
correct,
eat your food, do this. And then she would shut that.
Absolutely. I would also get one tupply. It's like, what are you doing? Go study.
When I look back, I know, okay, she had 2 kids to take care of. She had the housework.
Yes.
But I think then you start disconnecting from that early...
Of course, because we realize that those fantasies are not real. We can never have them. Yeah. And then we also slowly start feeling ashamed of them. Like sometimes what happens is, someone says, okay, I'll give you an example. So I had this lady who's like around 52, 53. Okay, she had come to me recently, and she and her husband were having a lot of squabbles, right? I think after about speaking to her for about maybe half an hour, I asked her this question. I said, what is your fantasy? She said, मैं ना Bridgerton देखती हूँ.
Oh.
Okay. She said, the way those men pursue the women, now they make them feel so special. I want that. That's her gold shadow. If she had a chance to create a relationship, she would probably create one that way. she didn't get a cooperative partner who probably even knew that she has this fantasy. When she watches Bridgerton, she watches it when he's gone to sleep. She watches it in secret. Anything done in secret usually means that there is shame associated with it. So she feels that her husband will laugh at her, ridicule her, judge her because she watches this fluffy fantasy stuff. Right? He calls it smut. Okay. He's like, all this rubbish you keep watching, stop watching it. So she used to have these, which was that romance writer back in the 80s? Mills and Bone. Yes, thank you.
Oh my
Right?
God. My sister
So
used to read
my
a lot of
friend who's my age still watches it. Still reads it, right? Bridgerton is pretty much similar,
kind of
right?
Mills and
I mean,
Bones, yeah.
I love the show. I love watching it. Okay. Is it my fantasy? No. I watch it because I listen to serious stuff. So this is light, happy stuff for me. Okay. Now, what I understand about people, your fantasies come from your gold. Even content you watch, music you listen to, the bands you like, the lyrics you like, they are all a part of your secret fantasy. And all that comes from your gold. The more you suppress your gold, the more miserable you're going to be.
So when you talk about the music you like, there is this little thing of I will be judged.
Always.
Of I'm listening to this, or this is not upbeat music, or this is something that, or like you were talking about the movies that we watch.
Yes.
We were having this conversation that Gen Zs like to watch something which is safe and
Yes, a lot of Gen Zs that I've spoken to recently, they usually tell me they love to watch reruns of shows. They don't.
My son also does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that if you watch a lot of reruns, it means you're looking for control and safety. Because you know what's going to happen. There are no surprises. So if you've grown up in an environment where there has been a lot of conflict, or you've been through a life where there has been a lot that has happened, which has been out of your control, then the content you go and watch has to feel safe and in control for you.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is how your gold shadow operates. It literally takes you to it to give you that, okay, this is one zone where I feel safe.
And like you said, control.
Control. Yeah.
That's
No
amazing.
surprises, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I'm extremely exhausted, and I've had classes and this and that, and like, my son wants, well, let's order pasta or whatever. No, I want my khichdi.
Comfort food. like
Comfort
you were
food,
mentioning.
absolutely. So food, music, everything that we consume on the outside. And it doesn't have to be consumption as in food, but even consumed through our senses, through our minds, reading books. Choices of topics, okay? So there was this lady who once came and told me that I love dystopian cinema. Is something wrong with me? Like, it's my fantasy that I want the world to end,
Oh,
right?
God.
That I want an asteroid to come and hit Earth, or I want an alien invasion. I love those movies, Aditi. What's wrong with me? I was laughing. I said, no, sweetheart, it's nothing like that. It's just that when those things happen, society structure completely breaks down. Nobody tells you how to behave, what to do, what to wear, what to eat. You can do whatever you want.
It's a complete freedom.
Complete freedom.
Wow.
I said, which means that your shadow is pointing to you that you require more freedom in your life. And you can get this simply by knowing that you love dystopian cinema.
Wow. So knowing your gold shadow, knowing your patterns when it's food, when
Yes.
it's music, when it's what you're watching.
Yes.
tells
Everything you consume is showing you your shadow aspects. Mostly gold shadow, but sometimes also your dark shadow. Like watching Bridgerton secretly, there is shame associated with it, right? Which means that to be sexually liberated or to be a woman who has desires for romance
Comes with a lot of shame.
comes with a lot of shame in India, especially, right? So for women in 50s and 60s, not easy.
So talking about Bridgerton, I saw the post you put out for Eloise.
Yes,
That was amazing.
it had like some over 1 million views, and it's crazy.
And the way you
people are
broke
fighting
that
in the
down,
comment.
like how she is as a character
Yeah.
and what is her gold shadow
Yes.
and why, like you connected it to why so many girls today.
They relate to it so much.
Yeah.
And I usually found that most of the women who commented under it are young women. They're mostly in their 20s and 30s. and they're very clear, they don't want to get married.
No, even I resonated with her, though I'm in my mid-40s, but I did because
Yes.
for me, that character is someone who stands in her truth with
Yes.
so much authenticity.
Absolutely.
And that's so powerful to do.
Yeah, I mean, her face comes with subtitles. Like, when she's made to meet a gentleman, she's like,
I love her expressions.
really cute. So I really thought that the character analysis of that would resonate. And I got a sense of that, which is why we created that post. And even so many other characters, that we have created, like the Ranvijay Singh from Animal.
Oh, yeah. The father-son equation that
Yeah.
you talk about.
Oh, how many men in India resonate with that. I had so many DMs, that, ma'am, I'm going through the same thing. Not just men, also women. Also women who've had a tough time with their fathers.
I need to prove this to my dad.
Yes. And I also did it because it's a post resonating for me. I've had a tough life with my dad. So, and I know what that character went through. I was at one time a very angry young girl who was remotely borderline violent, and I've also done crazy things. I've also controlled people. All that happened in my 20s because that was an expression of my anger against my father, rebelling against authority, yet wanting approval. Right? So all of these are the shadow aspects that control our lives. So when we understand shadow aspects through characters that we see in cinema, that's when we feel, Arey yaar, I'm so much like this person.
And I love the way you do those. How you pick characters and you break them down. And it's so easy to then understand that, okay, this is what is happening. And many a times, the father may not even be aware that my child is feeling like that.
Yes.
A simple thing like with Sid, my son, it was like with math. It was important for him to prove it to his father. And for my husband, it was like, but I never asked for it.
Correct.
Or I never said it.
Correct.
But that was something that, he started feeling that if I'm good at math, okay, that's a subject that I connect with my father. That's where I'll get my approval.
Yeah.
And then he used to really get stressed about
Correct.
math exam, not any other exam.
Correct.
So how these gold shadows can also help you, how these characters and the way you break them down, and it's amazing. And I'm looking forward to which is the next one that you're going to work on and
very
what's
soon.
going to come up there. So when coming back to the gender stereotype and what we were talking about, there are personality traits. Okay. So how does shadow work kind of come in there or help there?
Many personality traits are actually not personality traits. They are adaptive patterns that people have.
The survival patterns?
Survival patterns,
about.
protector parts, right? They can also be trauma responses, right? They can be stress responses. So, for example, if a person is very arrogant or very flippant by nature, right? It can mean, few things. It can mean that there is very, very low tolerance for BS in general, right? Because they're very hyper and laser focused on getting certain things done, right? So they don't have time for faff. Let's put it very simply, right? It could be that. Now, that's a gold shadow aspect, but it gets misunderstood by others, right? It is a protector part also because they're trying to protect their time. They're trying to protect their energy, right? But we don't see that. We only see, oh, this person has flipped me off. I'm trying to make conversation. I'm trying to talk about the weather, but they're not about the weather. They want to do kaam ki baat. Right? So when you do this work, you not only understand how you operate, you get to see how everybody else operates too. So you're not reacting to them anymore. You quickly understand, oh, this is the person who doesn't like talking about the weather. They probably want me to get to the point, so let me get to the point. So we avoid a conflict.
Correct.
So this is where it gets really useful when we understand patterns. Yeah. The other reason could be that the person has been given a lot of nonsense at their home when they were getting raised, and they didn't have the bandwidth to cut through the clutter. So now when they stepped out into the world, they don't have a tolerance for it anymore.
Give me an example.
It could be anybody. It could be a mother that must have constantly nagged, asked them to do things, talked about everything else, distracted them a whole lot. She may not have been emotionally regulated herself.
Or even a helicopter mom.
Helicopter mom.
Even if it's coming out of love and concern, but
absolutely.
it is still control.
Yeah, I mean, no parent intentionally wants to hurt their children. Let's be very clear about
True.
this, right? They're all trying it to do from love, but it is with limited knowledge of how to parent. Now, parenting doesn't come with a book. It doesn't come
I
with a
wish
manual.
kids were born with a
But you
manual.
must see, if you try to present a parenting manual to a parent, they will hate you. It's like, are you trying to tell me I'm not doing a good job?
Not doing a good job. But
Yeah.
again, how you parent is coming from your patterns, your
Absolutely.
conditioning,
There we go.
your environment.
Yes.
That need not be true for your child.
At all.
So I think that's where that whole link is missing.
Yes.
That, you don't bring in your experiences into raising your child.
I cannot even imagine the way my father raised me if I tried to raise my son in this environment. Fat chance. He'd run away from home. Literally.
True, true.
So we have to adapt. But more importantly, we have to take a look at the patterns of our parents that were indoctrinated, inculcated within us. What didn't work? How would you have loved to be parented? That's the first question you need to ask yourself, right? And then ask, how would your child love to be parented?
Yeah, that's the
Key.
most important.
Then
key
make
here.
that journey.
Yeah.
Then make that journey.
Instead of, this is what I have to offer as a parent.
Yeah,
What do you need as a child?
absolutely.
And coming there
Yeah.
and then looking
And
at
in
it
India,
that way.
usually we come from a point of the I know better than you. I have lived longer. I have more information, more experience, more this, more that.
The classic.
Therefore, I will take it and put it all on your head and shove it into your throat. And you have to accept it because you're my child.
And the classic statement that we use in India is, you will not understand now.
Yes.
The day you
have a
become a
child.
parent and you have a child, you will know what I'm talking about.
I think the only time I use that one with my son is where I give him lots of hugs and he gets really annoyed. And he's like, isn't this a bit too much? I'm like, yeah, you'll understand when you have a kid.
But I think that is something we constantly hear.
Yeah.
You won't get me now.
Yeah.
I'm telling it for your good.
Correct.
You'll only understand when you have children and when you will kind of...
Yeah.
Yeah,
But there's a different way. You have to ask the child, from what you know, what would you like to do?
And it's also, if you have more than one child, it's like same size doesn't fit all.
Yeah.
Your children are different. Treat them differently.
Absolutely.
So if you have more than one, look at the two as individuals.
Yes.
And then look at your parenting style. It was not going to work the same way.
Yeah, but Rashmi, now you're asking for people to have a whole different capacity as a human being to be able to even discern that.
Yeah.
People say, यार मेरे पास तो वक्त ही नहीं है ये सब के लिए यार.
Correct.
Right?
And एक autopilot पे जो हम चल
Autopilot.
रहे हैं, we will want to
Autopilot in shadow work is what we call comfort zone. I refuse to step out of it. It means that if I step out of it, I'll have to change. I'm not sure I'm comfortable changing. So मेरे माँ और बाप ने जो मेरे साथ किया था, I will perpetuate that further.
Continue with that.
Yeah, that's it, because it's easy. I know it.
I don't know, but my thought around comfort zone is when we say step out, I always have a thought, why do I need to step out? Why can't I slowly just increase?
Increase it.
Because the minute you say step out, it's really scary.
It is scary.
Oh my God, I have to move somewhere else now. But if you're here and, okay, let me try
Expanding it.
expanding
That's
it
a good one.
a little.
Yeah.
Then a little, then a little. And then you are, because you're standing right there, so you're comfortable.
True.
So I think this whole thought around comfort zone, for me, I feel it's better that you
Expand your zone.
expand your
Very true.
zone.
In fact, when people in my classes who do shadow work and they enroll for the first time, it's one thing I tell them, that you won't have a comfort zone that looks the same anymore. It's going to look very different in 6 months, in 1 year. Because that comfort zone is going to now include things that you did not dream about, that you were once afraid to do, say, stand for, speak, and live.
Even acknowledge.
Acknowledge, absolutely.
Or even just look at it that, oh, it's there.
Yeah. And students who have now done shadow work for 6 months, 8 months, they're like, oh my God, you were so right about this. Right? Because now my comfort zone is like, I can notice a pattern that's coming up. I'm realizing in my head, I have this voice that keeps telling me to do this. I need to put it down to paper.
So that voice, that can be a nagging voice, can be a controlling voice. Here, I hear it more like, this becomes a voice of your awareness.
Yes.
Now I'm aware.
Yes.
And once I'm aware, I don't react, I respond.
Absolutely.
I wait, I pause, I look at
Absolutely.
things. I'm
Yeah.
okay to go and apologize.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where I was wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm also okay to set boundaries and say,
Yes.
no,
yes.
boss.
Yes. I think when you've done a ton of shadow work, mostly you'll hear a lot of silence inside. There'll be a lot more quiet. And when you have that quiet, you get to hear the voice of your gut instinct, your gold shadow, whatever you want to call it, right? And it usually is the softest voice, right? Voices of fear, shame, guilt, they are very loud.
Very loud. Yeah.
And they come with a freaking party. Yeah, they come with a big boom box blasting all day.
And they
it-
all come together.
Yeah, and you'll have reactions in your body.
Yeah.
So a lot of people ask me the question, how do I differentiate in the voice of my awareness and the voice of my fear? This is how you differentiate.
It's very subtle.
Very subtle difference.
And it just makes you feel this is right for me.
Correct. Whether it looks right on the outside to others or not, it's right for you.
For me. Yeah. And I think that's the most important thing, where we then stop worrying about, is it right for the other or the others?
What will people say? What will people think? What will I do? What will happen?
I'll be alone.
You'll not have to worry. Those worries very funnily just go away when it's the voice of your awareness that you're listening to. You suddenly get the sense that I'm taken care of. Actually, it'll all fall in place. And you start to have faith in yourself in a way that you never did before. Because
And then you know in your relationships whether it's a need or a want.
yes.
Yeah.
You'll also know whether it's time or not time.
Exactly. Like, it's like I need this person in my life. I cannot survive this.
Yeah.
I want this person to be
Yes,
there in my life.
absolutely.
There is a
It's like
Complete different-
I provide for me,
Yeah.
and this companion would be great. Versus, oh my God, I have nothing, I need this person. That's codependency.
I have a very funny thought, okay? As a child also I used to feel this, that I used to have this image of when you're born, it's like God Almighty, Supreme, whatever you want to call the power, is giving you a gift, which is your soul. Okay? You are taking care of everybody else in your life. What will my parents think? What will my husband? Blah, 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 blah. But you're ignoring this one.
Yeah.
And that's your actual gift. And that's the actual thing you need to nurture, respect,
Yeah.
and just be authentic to.
Yeah.
Everything else falls into place.
True.
But somewhere we lose that.
Yeah.
And we are constantly in the struggle. It's like, you're having a party at home and you want to make every guest happy. Okay, I want the starters to be good. I want the...
No wonder people are exhausted.
Yeah, it's tiring.
It is tiring.
But I think sitting in your own truth and you're quiet and listening to your
You'll
own
never have that level
gold
of
shadow,
tiredness.
Yeah, you'll have a lot of energy to do
Absolutely.
much more than
Yes.
you would want to do. And
Yes.
kind of the word that's coming to mind is you become a no-nonsense person.
You do. You do. And that's a word I have been called for years now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people now who are in my classes are also being called that by people in their lives.
Yeah, that's what, psychodrama has gifted me because
Yeah.
of understanding of these roles. And it's like, now I'm at a stage where you do you,
Yep.
I will do me. I'm not criticizing you, but I'm not even going to get criticized by you.
Correct.
I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Very true.
I know deep down that I'm happy with it. That's what matters. Wow.